السلسلة 1973 73 نعم. Let's go.
والله مؤلم جدا. تعرف أنه الشيء الذي يؤلمني أكثر من أي شيء آخر في هذا الموقع تشويه الإسلام. هؤلاء شوهوا سمعة الإسلام. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لما خالد رضي الله عنه قتل هؤلاء الأسارة مباشرة قال اللهم إني بريء مما صنع خالد رضي الله عنه عليه السلام.
تشويه سيد الإسلام.
والله كان ينبغي للمسلمين فقط أن يقول اللهم إنا براء مما صنع هؤلاء. عندي صوت واحد مهما كان العداوة والبغض والحقد والكراهية لجرائم هذه الدولة. لأن والله أنا وقفت عند النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. وابن القيم الجوزية قال هذا الدين كله عدالة والرحمة وحكمة ومصلحة، فما خرج عن العدالة إلى الجور ليس من الدين، وما خرج من الرحمة إلى العنف ليس من الدين، وما خرج من مصلحة إلى ضدها ليس من الدين، وما خرج من الحكمة إلى ضدها ليس من الدين. هذه قاعدة أنا تمنيت كل مسلم يحفظ هذه الكلمات، أن الدين كله عدالة ورحمة ومصلحة وحكمة، وأضداد هذه الأشياء الأربع لا يتصل بالدين بالصلة. نعم. on the other end of the world, we've got, the Arabs, I know, watching this are going to say, look at Iraq. It's these cycles of violence that are just perpetuated. I think for the Arabs, there's a feeling in the Arab world that is so profound that American lives have worth and our lives don't.
Can you make that equivalence between destruction here, pain and suffering here, and at the same time, do you have to make that equivalence in your programming between what's happening in Iraq, what's happening in
I
Palestine?
don't think it's about equivalent in my program. I think it's if I see something like this in Iraq, I would say I would have exactly
because
the same feeling.
what they're feeling, what they are feeling is that, and this is painful for me. It's painful for me that Islam could get blamed for this. That's
Islam as opposed to just a few individuals.
just crazy. Well, I'm not crazy. Calculated, rational beings. Hateful. That
But this
could
is
do
what Osama
this
was trying
in
to
the
do.
name of Islam.
The problem is that we suffer as people, millions, hundreds of millions, because of the decisions of few. That's really disturbing.
Well, that's time immemorial too.
Yeah.
This thing in a way bothers me more than what happens in Iraq for a reason. Both of them are innocents dying, and this bothers me at the same level, but this adds to me a certain bother that it's affecting Islam. This is beyond just the human tragedy. It's into that this has come in the way between Americans' understanding of the real Islam. So it adds to the human tragedy.
But this is exactly what Osama bin Laden wanted to do. That's the understanding that
Well,
he
that's
wanted
the
to
tragedy.
drive.
The wedge was the goal, and the more we allow that to happen, the more we're actually doing exactly what the individuals wanted to happen, and that is the great. I think that's the extended tragedy of an already tragic situation. We need a serious paradigm shift on this planet. This is not working. And the response, you asked, do you think the Saudis can change? The question I think a lot of Saudis are asking, and a lot of Arabs, can America change? Can America, the Europeans had a very different response. Most of them did not want to go to war. 1 million English people went out and protested. And the response, in Arabic sign language, the symbol for American is this, guns blazing. And that is unfortunately a lot of our response. My feeling here is an immense tragedy occurred, a heinous crime, but also an immense possibility for deep introspection on behalf of this people. And I feel in a lot of ways our leadership failed to really accentuate that aspect, because it's not simply good enough to say that they just hate us.
I was talking to a young guy, and he'll be in our story, and he just said, this is horrible. I says, I felt like at some point I was almost sort of having to counsel him, but he's saying, I just feel this feeling that everyone looks at us as terrorists.
Well, also 15 out of the 19 hijackers that has been repeated endless times, and every Saudi, when they hear that, it's just like, I just saw him physically do it. It's just, that's not us.